it's me again, Jos, gameplay developer at Giant Software. I'm here to introduce you to the build mode in Farming Simulator 22. The build mode combines the landscaping and the placement of buildings into one big screen. This allowed us to change the usability, to make it much easier to work with both and to add new features to the game. When creating the build mode, we wanted to focus on the player feedback we got from the previous game. Biggest issue were the input controls. They were too complicated and it was too hard to do what you wanted to do in the game. So we revamped all the controls and changed how landscaping works with new tools. We wanted to allow players to use their creativity to make the yards the way they want with new content. That's why we added hundreds of new placeables. I talked about creativity, but before I talk about buildings, I'm gonna move over because it's too hot here. Much better. Let's talk about halls. Rudolf Herrmann has provided us with many new halls of different sizes and functionalities. Some come with solar panels and others with vehicle service points. And they even have different colors. We also have many new storage buildings from Meridian, Unia, and I hope I pronounce this correctly, Noiedo. They give storage for seeds, fertilizer, crops and fuel. For the first time ever, we also have branded BGAs from Plan ET. Every map comes with a big static BGA, but you can also build your own using the modular parts. We also have many new animal pens. Some come with buildings from Rudolf Herrmann and some are just a pen. They come in many different sizes and are much easier to place than before. Let's talk about fences. We've added something completely new to the game, placeable fences. They're unlike any other building. You start by placing a pole and just pulling it away, and it will create any fence on any hill. We have added 10 different fences and we have gates. This way you can control who enters and does not enter your yard. I hope you like the new flexibility. We've also added beehives, solar panels and generators that can create a bit of income for you. And of course you can also find the new production chains in the build mode. Let's talk about something else, the big usability changes we made. The biggest changes in the build mode are the inputs, with the controls, the buttons and the keys. We have removed many of them and simplified the way you put down buildings. We made the input much more intuitive by removing many keys so you don't have to remind them all. Every input is context sensitive, so you're not able to rotate buildings that cannot be rotated or rotate fences that rotate themselves. We also made big changes to the sculpting. We added new tools to flatten your terrain and add slopes you control, and on the engine side we made it much easier to control adding and removing ground so that it is easier to make a yard that looks good. Finally, let's talk about modding. We've made big changes in the system that allows for composition of all these features together in one building or in separate buildings. You will be able to make a shed that is a service point and has animals, or has a manure heap and service point. I hope you're excited about this new build mode as I am, and I look forward to seeing the mods you will make and the yards you will build.
Thanks, Jos. We're back here. I'm Ken, the QA lead over at Giant Software. Joining me again is Stefan.
Yeah.
Jos has talked a little bit about the nice things this new build mode can do, and we thought, why not show you a little bit of these new features. So the build mode as a whole is like this complete new interface, as you can already see.
Yeah.
So we have we have the mini-map in there. We have different tabs in there. Maybe we want to go over a few of them.
Yeah, so first you have an overview of the buildings. So you have different categories here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first is buildings. So you have the sheds, silos and all that stuff here. Then you have production, so everything for the production chains.
Yeah,
as
all of
Marius
your
explained.
factories, your placeable selling stations, of course, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you have the animals, so all the pens, von Rudolf Herrmann here. Then the next tab would be decorations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jos talked a little about it in the video. The new fences we can see here, like there's this whole like dynamic system behind it that makes it super easy for us as a player, of course, to place these fences. But there was a lot of work that went into there.
Yeah.
That was one of Jos's personal projects. But yeah, we've seen it earlier. We had this is the area where we have our cow husbandry placed already. And if you're a player and say, okay, I have my stuff placed and everything, but I want to decorate a little bit or fence in the area, that is now easier than ever with this new fence system.
Yeah, so I already placed here some fences to have it a bit separated, and also this hedge here.
And gates as well.
Gates as well.
It's not only fences, but you can place gates, of course, that are interactive.
Yeah, so you can open them and close them, and just place here a fence. So you can just click with the mouse, have multiple points, and then if you click on the right mouse button, you finish the fence. So now we would have placed it.
Beautiful, Stefan. Very beautiful. But that's a nice thing. You can like build to whatever your heart's content, basically.
So I'm a really creative guy, you see. But if you don't like it, you can also remove it.
Yeah.
So you got here that function.
Button.
And then you can easily remove everything.
If you misclicked something, it's just easy click to get something back, and then you're back where you started at, basically.
And you can also just remove buildings. So if you click here, I don't want to remove it because it looks really nice, but it's also marked red. So if you click on it, it will just sell the building. So it's way more easy to sell the correct building.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of a silo or a shed, or if you want to, like, let's say you starting out your game and you only have a small shed because you don't have enough money in the beginning, and now you've made money, of course, then the question is, what am I going to do? But you can easily just remove, and if you remove buildings, you get part of that money back as well, of course, and then just build the next shed level, basically, if you would like it.
Yeah, so you can just here, for example, nice Herman shed, but maybe you don't like it here at that position. You can just
click on the demolish button and
just sell it,
basically.
Yeah.
And look at that. This is like a perfect example. You built something, you've poured the concrete, the shed is gone. What are we gonna do now, Stefan?
Maybe we just seed some grass there. So it's also the great thing about the new construction screen is that we got everything in place. Yeah. So you don't need to change the screen to just go to the painting or to the sculpting mode.
We've had the landscaping feature before in FS19, but now it's basically directly placed within the build mode menu, just because it makes sense to have it there, of course.
Yeah. So we can just here put some grass there. Then we got rid of the concrete. And we can also just put some grass here.
Exactly. Paint some grass there. The prices are not final, of course.
Yeah.
These are for demonstration purposes. We can also use we have trees now as well in the game. So if you want to like plant some of these, that's possible.
Yeah, so just decorate it here a bit more so that it looks more beautiful. Yeah, there's also the power line. Yeah. That's maybe not the best way to place that.
That's a safety hazard. That's how I see it.
But you can also just paint plants. So small bushes or grass. Yeah.
Yeah. And as always, if you have any questions regarding the build mode, there's going to be a Q&A always after our presentation, so you'll be able to get those in then. I mean, is there anything else we want to show regarding the build mode? I remember, for example, that now when you press escape, basically to go back to your character, something that was very important for us, because we noticed it while testing, is that wherever you're currently in the world, that's where the build mode should pop up.
Yeah.
And also, so you kind of know, that's why the mini-map is in there, actually. So you know that even while moving around in this build map menu with this new camera view, you're going to be somewhere completely different, but to find your way back to where you are and everything, to keep an overview of where you are in the world, that's why all of this stuff is there. So it was important for us to have the player not being ripped out of the whole immersion of where was I currently? Where's my farm? Looking around, not being able to find their way. So that's a reason, for example, why the map is there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can also see the coordinates here nicely on the map. So yeah, what else can we show? We also have the sculpting here.
Yeah.
So we can also change the terrain here.
Yeah, just like before, you can use your mouse or also with a gamepad to basically use it as a brush and create the terrain and shape the world as you see fit, basically.
Yeah, so the controls are really easy here. So if you just sculpt it here a bit, you can just click with the mouse on painting and then paint it like you want. So it's really a lot more easier than before.
Intuitive. It's all in one place and it makes switching.
Exactly.
It's much easier now to spend hours in this one menu and change the map as you want to. All right, I think that's all we want to show for now.
Yeah.
And as we've said before, any questions can be answered now shortly in our Q&A. And we'll see what's next on the program then. Thank you again, Stefan, for being here.
Welcome.
And I have another appointment, so I'm gonna be heading out, making my way already, and gonna say goodbye.
Bye.